These people are extremely dangerous, but I will reassure everyone, and I know this, and many of us now know this, that the police and other agencies, quote unquote, are completely on top of these guys.
Finally.
They really are on top of them. We don't have to worry about that. But they need to be called out because they come here and they just carry on as if business as usual. Let's not give them free pass. Let them walk around us as if it's like they're normal people. They're not. They are dangerous people. And if they were on the extreme right, I'd do the same. You know, if they're part of the KKK and they want to kill people, I'd do the same because these are not normal people. They're people who are a danger to us. But they need to be called out because they come here and they just carry on as if business as usual.
In Islam, we are not taught to fight for no reason. In fact, there is an ayah in the Quran which says that if you kill one person unjustly, it is as if you have killed the whole of mankind. By the way, vigilantism is not something that Islam recommends. There is always a process in the court of law. So even if there was a blasphemy, even if there was a murder, even if there was a theft, you have to go through the due process. You can't just cut somebody's head off. Well, basically there's a due process. There's a judicial process in everything. You can't just go about chopping people's heads off or hands off. That's vigilantism, isn't it?
Sir. Do you like what ISIS is doing? Sir. I don't. Do you like them, what they're doing for?
Sir. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Why are you afraid to talk openly?
Sir.
Why are you afraid to discuss this? You make claims that Muslims are killing to spread their religion. Obviously, the Muslims that you are alluding to are those fanatical groups that all Muslims around the world are saying, no, they do not represent Islam and Muslims.
This is a statement regarding the acts of criminality which took place today in Woolwich. Two men who conducted these acts of criminality are not from our community. They do not represent us in any shape or form. And I want to highlight that the far right is going to take full advantage of this situation and they're going to spread a lot of hatred about Islam and Muslims. This is something we have to be careful about. We condemn all acts of criminality, whether they take place in this country or in Syria or in Japan. So we have to be clear on this, that these two men do not represent us in any shape or form.
As for Mansour and the brothers Hashim and the brothers Adnan, we're not.
And Ali Dawa?
To be fair, all of them. To be fair,
They're criticising you on Twitter.
I don't care.
He's lying about you.
Yeah, he lies against me, but I'm Muslim, I don't lie against him. Yeah, I won't lie against him, he won't lie against him.
And if he's been oppressed, we defend him.
Yeah, so when they, to be fair, to give them credit, they did speak against him. They hate us. There's enmity between us.
Are you Spubs?
Hang on, I'm Spubs, yeah.
So just clarify what Spubs is.
There's some people, we don't see eye to eye, put it this way, we don't see eye to eye on many issues.
Okay, more than religious.
No, religious issues.
Oh, religious issues.
Not some more than others, okay? But we have our differences. But to be fair, they spoke out. Now, we were very vocal, and our teachers have been very vocal since the 90s, okay? Now, I'll be fair. With regards to Mansour, he was never opposed to what we done. And he said, you have lifted the burden from us.
Mansour, wait, let me finish my point. Rush, to be honest, I know Mansour for a long time. I've been coming to this place, yeah? Mansour doesn't support them, understand? He doesn't support them. Mansour, he comes, give da'wah, that's it. But you following him because he never confronted this guy. And it's up for every person here to confront terrorists. Soko film, he promoted Christian Prince. And the Christian Prince, when he was asked, I have it here, let me get you the proof, because I don't want to just be speaking. Okay? Christian Prince. That's the operation, man. So Christian Prince, Bob the Liar and Christian Prince, both of them, praising and saying, so Christian Prince speaking to this Abdullah Samir, this guy, you know, as I have mentioned, if you want to become a rich, then open YouTube channel, claim that you're ex-Muslim. Do you know how many followers you have? Unbelievable. It's a business now. Anyway, so this Abdullah, he's atheist, so he wants to be, he's speaking ex-Muslim, claim he's telling me, what do you think about the Inquisition court?
What about the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition against witches?
I agree with it.
With the what?
Inquisition court. Let me teach you about Inquisition court. When the Muslims and the Jews and other Christians from other sects, they were getting burned alive. Now you are with a person who promotes someone who agrees with killing the Muslims and burn them alive, the Inquisition court. So these guys, they are with who? With the Crusades. But because we are in England now, you cannot implement Crusades anymore. But if they are in a country when the Crusades are killing the Muslims, they will join them.
In Revelations 21, verse 8, we read, "But for the cowardly and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and immoral persons and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, their part will be in the lake that burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death." In the book of Revelations, it lists murderers and immoral persons and sorcerers and idolaters and liars, along with cowards. Cowards go to hell. The faith teaches Christians that we should live valiant and courageous lives, heroic and virtuous. And yet in church culture today, we have given way to that calling, and we have given way to a weak-willed, limp-wristed, avoid confrontation at all costs spirituality. Christians in the West are often governed by fear and cowardice. We are scared to be outsiders. We are scared to be rejected by wider society. We are scared to be condemned. We are scared to go to prison. We are scared to speak the truth. Christianity in the West has become a religion of cowards. And the scriptures are clear. Cowards go to hell. As Christians, we must rediscover that muscular faith, that heroic faith, that courageous faith, that valiant faith that is spoken of in Hebrews 11 from verse 32. And what more shall I say? For time will fail me if I tell of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, of David and Samuel and the prophets, who by faith conquered kingdoms, performed acts of righteousness, obtained promises, shut the mouths of lions, quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, from weakness were made strong, became mighty in war, put foreign armies to flight. The champions of faith described in Hebrews are not just the ones we like to talk about in church. Amongst them are Gideon, Samson. These are warriors who fought for the truth. The faith that is being described is the faith that allowed the adherents to conquer kingdoms. And yet we Christians will run a mile before we engage in any kind of confrontation with anyone about any matter. Because we've been raised on spiritual milk for generations now and not spiritual food, solid food, mature food. The church must rediscover a theology of martyrdom. It must rediscover that living for Christ means you live for Christ even to the point of death, even accepting death if that is what following Christ means, even if going to prison is what following Christ means. Where is our pride? Where is our honor as a community? We have forgotten the virtues of courage, and we have forgotten that sacrifice is what imbues character, that sacrifice is what builds the inner man. When a man sacrifices for his faith and for his community, he cultivates within him all those virtues that make a man a man. What we have instead in the church are a bunch of men who are more like boys, scared, timid, frightened. We as Christians must rediscover what it is to pick up your cross every day and follow me. The cross was a symbol of ancient execution. It was a symbol of suffering. We Christians must rediscover what it means to live as red martyrs, which is to die for Christ, and as white martyrs, which means to live in condemnation by the world, in objection to the world, in suffering from the world, regardless of the cost. When we start to take our faith seriously again, then the world around us will take our faith seriously. There is a reason why in this country you can blaspheme the Christ, but you cannot blaspheme Muhammad. You can't insult Muhammad. It's because the liberal establishment fear the Muslim community. But they don't fear us. If we don't stand up for our faith, no one will respect you. Who is ever respected for allowing themselves to be trod upon and to be beat upon and to be oppressed? This is not what the Christian faith calls us to. We are called to live the lives of saints on earth. And a saint is one who lives a courageous and virtuous life. And this faith is the faith that I call you to be a man, to be a Christian man. Love means that you stand up for your community. Love means that you stand up for the truth. Love means that you stand up for your own identity. And if that means you end up in conflict, so be it.
So be it.
So be it.
So be it.
Fear will defeat you.
No, fearless. We don't care anymore.
Be fearless. If you are a Christian and you can hear my voice, you need to fight for the church to be triumphant. Christians are commanded in the book of Romans to submit themselves to civil authority. This is true. However, Christians need only submit to civil authority in those things that are godly. And therefore, when the state says to us, we should not do anything about our persecuted brothers and sisters, that we shouldn't be worked up about it, that we shouldn't stand with them in their struggle, we can ignore the state.
How come we don't see the Christians not clarifying and freeing themselves from Bob the Builder? When Bob the Builder openly praised the Crusaders that killed the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims in Spain.
Don't follow that kind of Christianity. My Christianity is not the cowardly, wimpish Christianity that you want to make it. My Christianity is the Christianity that defeated Islamic Jihad 3 times. My Christianity is the Christianity that conquered the Roman Empire. My Christianity is the kind of Christianity that defeated the pagan Vikings and the northern pagan tribes. My Christianity is the kind of Christianity that defeated the Ottoman Empire, that defeated the Arab invasion of the 7th century, that defeated the Arab invasion in Andalusia, in Spain. Do you see?
They burned them alive. Where is Hatun? Where is Godwin? Where are they? Freeing themselves. On the camera he's saying that. Even Allah, there's another Christian who was speaking to him, which is named the other Christians. Richard, he said, I'm free from you. But what about the other Christians? If this guy was a Muslim, they will ask us who are the Muslims for freeing themselves from this guy. However, Bob the Builder clearly praising the murderers, the killers of the Muslims and the Jews and the Christians in Spain. No one speaks against him.
Curious to know how many facts of the plot you separated.
You look like a good person.
No,
I'm
a bad person.
Wait,
how many food you serve? Isn't that amazing? Muslims turns up to the where the victims are with their camera, put on YouTube.
You must be really low to do that. You must be really low to say that. You have to be very, very low to say that.
I'm amazed with that because your camera crew is just around you.
You have to be very low to say that. That's a very, very low thing to say that. It's like I see good people there, helping people, and I say they are there to show off. That's why I didn't want to tell you how long I was there. Because you're such a low person to say something like that to me. You know, you have to be very low to say that to me, that I was there to show off. I wasn't. No, she said that. She just said that Muslims are there with cameras so that they can show off. This is a very low thing to say.
Are the Muslims
Oh
who
my
are
God.
going there.
This is why I call you
They are the
hate
Muslims
preachers.
who
You are nothing but
going there.
hate preachers.
So,
You are a bunch
I
of
guess
Nazis.
my question
Even though you're not white.
My
Even though you're not
question
white.
stands for you. My
The
question
Nazis.
stands for
The
you.
Nazis were not white.
You're hate preachers.
Hate preachers. You have to be hate preachers to say that Muslims are there to show off. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. You have to be really low to say that to me. No, apologize for that. Apologize for that. Apologize for that. She said that we were there to show off. Helping people, helping victims, we were there to show off to who? You? You people? Show off to you, hate preachers? Come on.
Can I respond? Can I respond?
No, you have to be. Before you respond, apologize.
I'm responding.
Apologize.
I'm responding.
She said you were there. You were there to show off.
I mean, how can that be tolerated by any community? Like, here as Muslims, to be honest with you, when Muslims, other Muslims, here in Speaker's Corner or otherwise, come out with preposterous statements, we are always pressured to condemn it. Now, to be honest with you, when you have hate preachers like the woman that was sitting here, talking to basically some people that were very close to the building, had eyewitness, they were seeing what was happening, and it was saying, and she's saying at the same time that actually no, you're doing this to show off. How could the pressure not be put on her?
That's disgusting.
How could Christian organisations not condemn that? How could it be that these guys are not on the front page newspapers? How could it be that this is accepted within the discourse in the United Kingdom?
Yes.
How could it be that in the United Kingdom, people like this can get away with saying things like that? I mean, how disgusting that is. And to be honest with you, I've never seen anything like this, really. I've been in this country all my life. I've never seen the hate for Islam and Muslims kind of graduate to this kind of level. It's never graduated to this level before, where you're really kind of blind to everything good that someone in front of you could do, even if it's risking their lives as a child or a young person, like was the case in Greenwich, Grenfell, was it Grenfell? Grenfell, yeah. And they'll look with a microscope of what you do in terms of violence. What kind of bias is this anyways? What kind of bias is this anyways? Is this a way to analyze a community? Is this the way to do justice to a sociological experiment of Muslims in the United Kingdom or otherwise in the West? This is disgusting behavior.
The guy was a Christian. He was a Christian. He was a crusader. He was a crusader. He was a crusader. Yes, the names on the guns were Christian names, and he was a Crusades admirer. He had the Battle of Acre, the date of the Battle of Acre on the gun, and the Battle of Acre took place between Muslims and Crusaders. So he was a crusader.
That thing.
What thing?
Yeah?
What thing? Say it. What thing?
What thing?
Say the word terrorism. Say it. Why do you
Whoever has
Why
killed.
are you afraid to say it?
Well, whoever has killed.
Because you like them.
No.
Yes, because you like them. Because this is the reality of the Christians.
7/7 and 9/11. You
That's
like
Christian,
this.
not any Christian. I condemn it. I can. You know what? If anybody asks me, I condemn them as terrorists. Why don't you say that terrorism question?
He will never say this.
Say it, why are you
He
afraid?
is a hate preacher.
Because you support them. You support them. You support the terrorists. It is clear that this crusader who killed Muslims in the mosque was directly inspired by crusader violence against Muslims. And who are the crusaders? Crusaders were ignorant bigots like these individuals. These individuals who call themselves Christians. They have nothing to do with Christians. I keep saying this, that these people like ISIS has nothing to do with Muslims. These Christians, so-called Christians, have nothing to do with Christians. They are Christian ISIS. These guys are Christian Al-Qaeda. These guys are Christian extremists.
The church must rediscover a theology of martyrdom. It must rediscover that living for Christ means you live for Christ even to the point of death, even accepting death if that is what following Christ means, even if going to prison is what following Christ means.
Disagree respectfully on one thing that you said. You said like other preachers like Sheikh Yasser Habib and stuff. Sure. Yeah, I call it the same here, Sheikh, as well, so it's not a problem. So the point is that what I'm trying to say is that when people like him say certain things, it's true. If you look at Yasser Habib's behaviour,
Will you call Tommy Robinson chair?
it's not a Muslim.
Sir, Tommy Robinson, something like that.
Is he the same as Tommy Robinson? So we have to go out and discuss it.
He's worse than Tommy Robinson.
Cool. For me, I've met Yasser Habib once in my life. And that was to find out what is all the hoorah about him. So I grew up, oh, you know, he's this, he says a lot of bad things, he insults, and I saw that on YouTube. So naturally, I wanted to go clarify. So when I met him, he said to me, yeah, look, like, there's certain things that I've done, and an example of celebrating the death of Aisha.
It's more than that.
الوهابي إن لم تقتله قتلك والوهابي يجب أن لا تضع قدماه النجسة أرض العراق الطاهرة لا مكان له في العراق. أما المساجد التي يحكمها ما يسمى بهيئة علماء المسلمين وهي هيئة علماء الكفر والفساد والمنافقين فهذه المساجد يجب أن تهدم ولا يجب أن يتم التراجع عن هذه المسألة. قوانين الله يجب أن تطبق بدون محاباة وبكل صراحة.
Here you have an Iraqi soldier posing proudly with Yasser al-Habib's book, a compilation of slanderous claims about Aisha, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, designed for one thing and one thing alone, to incite hate.
جهلا من بسطاء الشيعة انه يقولون انتوا لو يلا بيكم زود سووا مثله، روحوا انتوا ما ادري جاهدوا، انتوا افعلوا، انتوا كذا. اولا يا ايها الابله الجاهل نحن ايضا حاضرون على الجبهات وتشهد لنا مواقفنا في سوح القتال في العراق. الرافضة الأبرار ممن ينتمون لهذه الهيئة ولهذا الكيان ولهذا التيار يقاتلون هناك، وتجد علمنا الأزرق موجود عند السواتر، لكننا لسنا من أهل الدعايات. تستطيع أن تحقق وترى هنالك أخبار في هذا الخصوص، هنالك صور وتوثيقات ومقاطع فيديو في هذا الخصوص.
Most worryingly, Yasser is known to have links to militant groups in Iraq. Here, you can see him taking part in a procession in London with a group that he founded.
الأفراد في تجانس ذي طابع عسكري رمزي موحد ليعبروا بذلك عن استعدادهم لنصرة صاحب العصر والزمان عليه الصلاة والسلام.
Notice the blue flags? This is Khuddam al-Mahdi, a registered UK charity. Here they are again, this time in Iraq. Again, the same blue flags. Remember that hateful book the Iraqi soldier posed with? Here is Qadri with the same book, using insightful language.
Mama Aisha, right? The mother of believers, Aisha. Have you ever heard of a mother that murders her children? This is your mother, Aisha. This is the mother of murder.
Most disturbingly, Hassan Qadri openly supports the Shia slaughter of Sunni Muslims. On his Facebook page, he regularly uses inflammatory language, praises the terrorist group Hezbollah, and has even gone to the extreme of calling for the outright slaughter and enslavement of Sunni Salafis. In November 2013, he posted the following message on his Facebook page. Am I taking it too far to say I want the Salafis in Syria to be slaves in the shrine of Sayyidina Zainab? And in 2014, he called for the complete eradication of the people of the peaceful country of Lebanon. He posted, Hezbollah should do like the Iraqi government and just wipe out the Salafis. Believe me, Hezbollah has the power to take over Lebanon and they should finish them off, once and for all. As you can see, shocking, even to his own followers. In May 2013, he posted a picture in a celebration of a militant holding the head of a beheaded fighter, and most worryingly, in the comment section, he advised on how a face of a person being beheaded changes during the execution.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين هو رب السماوات والأرض وأفضل الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين المؤيد أحمد أمجد أبو القاسم محمد الله.
But they need to be called out because they come here and they just carry on as if business as usual. Let's not give them free pass. Let them walk around us as if it's like they're normal people. They're not. They are dangerous people. And if they were on the extreme right, I'd do the same. You know, if they're part of the KKK and they want to kill people, I'd do the same because these are not normal people. They're people who are a danger to us.